Hello everybody, welcome back to another commentary of You're My Best Friend. I'm your host as always, the director, creator, writer, and actor of You're My Best Friend, Jonathan Peralta, aka Jontra12, and I'm here to give you a commentary on another episode of the series that me and Paul have been, doing for the past, several years. It's been our pet project, if you will, and we've had a huge pleasure in showing you guys this series. It's been fun making it, and we're currently writing season 2, so that's pretty interesting in and of itself, but nonetheless, I'm not here to talk about that. I'm talking about the episode at hand. Today I'm going to give you my commentary on You're My Best Friend, the web series, episode 3, titled You Did This. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say that this episode was directed by Paul. I could be wrong about that. I have to look at the credits again. I really actually forgot. I know I directed majority of the episodes, and a lot of that had to do with Paul's focus with the series, because at the beginning we were having a lot of fun making it, but as time went on and when our filming schedules continued to just go on forever and ever and ever, and it took forever just to get a simple scene on film, it just got more draining for the both of us. And I guess at the end of the day, whether it be the writing process of the series or the filming process, there was a point in time where I got really aggravated with Paul's ambition with the series. So I thought to myself, because originally it's only 6 episodes, so like originally I would film half and then he would film half. But at the end of the day, I think he only originally directed 1 episode, which I think is this episode. So there's that. And I would have him here commentating, but I haven't seen his ass for a while, so he's not here right now. And I'm too lazy to go get him. And I'm pretty sure he would just annoy me about whatever the fuck he wants to talk about. But nonetheless, I want to talk about the logistics and the simplicity of the episode at hand. Nonetheless, let's get ready to watch this episode together. I'm about to, if you want to watch it with me, definitely open up a new link and check out You're My Best Friend, episode 3, You Did This, which, once again, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I want to say was directed by Paul, and is the only episode directed by Paul. For season 2, I'll definitely have Paul direct more episodes, because for me personally, directing every single episode was so much hell. It just took so much out of me. Like, it was so draining just to get and it's only 6 episodes, but God, it took a lot out of me. Nonetheless, we are starting to watch this episode in 3, 2, 1. We're watching it. Okay. Well, of course, this episode starts off with a good binocular scene. I remember, I guess originally the overall plot device of this episode was supposed to highlight the character of being, I guess, a playboy of John. Like my character, who's John, I didn't want to like throw it in your face, but I wanted to imply that he gets around a lot. That was kind of like the general gist of what my character was supposed to be. He was supposed to get around a lot. And originally, when it came to this scene, I was supposed to have a good montage of me. Okay, I check out the woman who lives next door, the really hot, attractive, older lady who lives next door, who's doing things or what have you. And then, of course, I do this stupid little line, which I didn't realize at the point of writing it, but apparently it's like basically word for word the same line that like Ben Affleck's character says in Chasing Amy, when he finds out that the chick that he loves is lesbian. He says that exact same line, and I didn't realize it, and then, like, when we were going to film it, Paul was like, "What are you, Ben Affleck?" And I'm like, "Ah, shit, he does say that." So that was kind of like an error on my part, but nonetheless, it was inspired, if you will. Nonetheless, besides all that bullshit, originally, I was supposed to have that montage of me dressing up to look a little bit more like the character who would naturally be, like I would have, like, very suave looking, tall, dark, and handsome, I guess is what the general gist of what I was supposed to look like. But I was just, in the moment, wearing that kind of stupid-ass clothing that I usually wear around the house just naturally. And, of course, the Scully, to hide the fact that my hair is way longer than what it should be. So that's another. I mentioned this in episode 2 where inconsistency is afoot in every single episode. So a good way to tell is either A, my acting, which sucks. I will admit I'm not the greatest actor of all time, which I actually talk about a lot on the podcast back in the day. But there's that, and then 2 is my hair length. Like if my hair looks drastically different from scene to scene, that's obviously a inconsistency. And the only way when I noticed it in the editing process of the episodes, I started just wearing Scully's just to hide the fact. So that's an obvious way to tell or see that there's an obvious inconsistency is my hair length because I'm wearing the Scully. So that's the sole purpose of wearing the Scully nonetheless. Okay. Now we're getting into the fun of the episode. Some good old Paul Costa and Eddie moments. I love this shit. I love this dog. I love filming this dog. I don't know why, but I always wanted, like, from the creation of this series, I always wanted there to be like a dog sidekick, and that's what Eddie, my dog Edgar, serves the purpose, and he's like the dog sidekick of me and Paul. I love this moment. It's just so funny. God, I remember this shot took forever to make because I wanted the dog to come into frame. But he kept going from side to side, like he would go left or he would go right. I wanted him just to go right into frame, but but that was something that never really happened. Now here's another thing that was the complete opposite of what I wanted. Like in the writing, I wanted Paul to like try and climb the tree and then fall on his head. He didn't want to do that because he sucks at climbing, and also he's an asshole. So obviously we couldn't do that. But I did get him to like run into the tree, which he did terribly. The scene will come up and I will mention it. But there's a specific sequence where he's supposed to run right into the tree. I don't know what. See, I don't know what's with him in that hand movement thing. Like it's like what are you sucking the tree's cock? What are you doing? This fucking asshole. I don't know what's his problem, but he loves doing. See again, it's like Paul. His main focus is either masturbation or sexual innuendos. Like, he loves that shit. Here's another one. He's, like, jerking off this plant. It's like, what the hell does that even mean? How's that funny? But, what are you gonna do? And here's just a quick montage of close-ups of Paul Costa's face, which I always find funny, but I only like them when they have a purpose. This doesn't really have a purpose. Like, once again, he directed this episode, so all I said was, like, take the camera and just do funny stuff in front of it. And there you go. You have all this nonsense that he recorded, and I recorded. Okay. I get the feeling like he doesn't know what he's doing half the time. Like, what is he? Like the idea is that he's imagining that he's like fighting a war with imaginary soldiers. He's just high. That's the general. That's the. Here it comes. The fucking scene. He runs very nuts, and he doesn't even make contact with the. Ah, God. The little dog. I love this moment. That's like the only moment I really love about that one scene is the dog comes in really slowly and checks him out. It's like, it's so funny and cute. Now here's the scene that I love more than any other scene. It's a reenactment of Platoon, if I'm not mistaken, which is the one scene where Willem Dafoe, where he gets shot like a whole bunch of times by the fucking Vietnamese fuckers. He's getting shot at, and there's that classic scene where he drops to the ground. It's all slow motion. He puts his hand in the air and it's like, "This is war," you know, while Charlie Sheen's like crying in the fucking chopper, and he's getting away. I wanted that as a reenactment, and it makes no sense to have it in this one sequence in the episode, but I love it so much that I kept it in because it's just so funny. It's like Paul Costa falling face first, slow motion is hysterical. I just love that. That has to be my second favorite scene out of this episode. Number one is the dog, the little puppy. He looks so cute. I don't know why. I just love that shit. And here I am back in action. And in here, I think we have our first, I want to say, Jonathan Roberts joke, which is an inside joke. If you don't know anything about Jonathan Roberts, definitely go check out the podcast, and you'll definitely understand our vendetta against the one called Jonathan Roberts. And I think that joke is right here. It was in this one sequence. Anyways. This fucking guy. Oh, God. I always find the porch scenes in the process of making this. I always felt that they were supposed to be the relaxing stage. Like, originally I wanted the couch to be like the area where the two of us always are in place together, talking about like real nostalgic, realistic like story points. But we never really got around to that. The only reason that is because more than likely the only reasoning because we changed it from the couch to the porch is because either A, we couldn't film the couch because it was being occupied, or either because it was a time limit. We just had to get the scene done as quickly as possible. And here's Paul doing some hardcore drugs, which is supposed to be an ongoing theme, is that Paul Costa is such a hardcore drug addict that it's the main cause of the plot points. And now he's just done so much that he's gone crazy and mad. I like this scene because, not only because of the music, but I just love this shot, and there's like the TV in the background doing this stupid ass movie. I love that shot. It's so fucking funny and cool at the same time. Now you have this asshole walking all Walking Dead style right on his fucking face, which is always enjoyable. The scene was supposed to be a little bit more elaborate. I think the general gist was supposed to have him look like he was foaming at the mouth and that he was basically overdosing. And we couldn't accomplish the visuals of what we wanted in the story. So I guess the substitute for that is, yeah, you see in this one scene, you see like this white stuff over his mouth. The original idea was that he was supposed to be foaming heavily at the mouth, like if he had rabies or something. Like he was supposed to have heavy foam coming out of his mouth because he's, crazy, cartoony, overdosing. But we couldn't accomplish that, so he just like kept spitting on his face. Like if he it was really gross, but it was supposed to be a little bit more elaborate than that. Now here's this asshole. I think there's like one little glimpse that he actually looks down at the camera. If you go back real quick, there's like one little glimpse. Like he looks down for like a millisecond, but it's there. I'm telling you, the guy, he's obsessed with looking at the camera. Like if he's so self-conscious that he can't just deal with acting without having to know if it came out good. Like he wants to know, it's almost like self-consciously he wants to know if it was good prior to finishing the actual scene at hand. But what are you going to do? Now I smack him in the face, which is my favorite thing to do and at any occasion. Filming or not, slapping the fuck out of Paul Costa is the best thing ever. I accomplished a lot of things in life. That's the number one, I guess, because it's always fun to do. And I remember he had a huge problem with it. He was like, don't fucking slap me. And I was like, fuck you. I slapped him right in the face. And I think it's in the bloopers, actually, where I slap him really hard. And he's like, goddamn asshole, fucking slapping me that hard. But and then that's the second take where I slap him a little less. Yeah, this directed by Paul Costa. Yeah, that was the one episode he ever directed. I love the ending. I guess not only because I got to punch and slap Paul Costa in real life, but because I think it's a good ending. I personally think it's definitely a far superior ending to episode 2, which I really consider to be the worst episode we did. Out of every episode we did, which is 6 in total, episode 2 is definitely my least favorite. So if you want to know my personal thoughts on why it's so terrible, definitely go check out that commentary, which is on my channel. Definitely go to my channel, check out that commentary. But the episode is done. I hope everybody enjoyed the specific episode with my commentary, of course. But if you don't want to watch the episode with my annoying voice, or and you don't want to know any type of behind the scenes type of insight to the episode, definitely go to my channel where I have a playlist of all the episodes that you can get. And of course, I'll have a link in the description below, so you can go right to the playlist and check out the episodes. And of course, check out the teaser for Season 2, which is definitely coming out soon. I want to say it's definitely going to come out later this year. I want to say during the holidays. That's kind of where I legitimately think it might come out, but I could be wrong. You never know. We're still in the writing process of Season 2, but if we, step it the fuck up, as we like to say in the podcast, we'll definitely get it out sooner than expected. But overall, I like this episode a lot more. I think it has a lot more better visual comedic shots, but it's definitely superior to episode 2. Hope you guys enjoyed this commentary. Definitely check out episode 1 and episode 2's commentary, and I'll definitely be back next week with episode 4 commentary. Hope you guys enjoyed. This has been John 12.